Hey y'all, and welcome to Monner's Market, and welcome to my high-end Christmas decor video. I am extremely excited about this video because I found some things to make for you today that I am obsessed with. Let's get right into my first DIY. DIY number one, I found this humongous Christmas bulb in Hobby Lobby the other day, and I found this Merry Christmas wooden sign to go with it. Now it says $2.99, but everything at Hobby Lobby Christmas-wise is on sale for 60% off right now. So I paid, what, $1 or $2.40 for that. This one is 70. I'm not even going to start over, y'all. $6.99, $7 at 60% off. You do the math because I can't. So I'm going to take a yardstick and I am going to make me a line across the top and the bottom just for a guide to place my tape, so that I can take the middle of this sign and paint it with some white Waverly chalk paint. Now, although I'm giving it a good coat, I'm not giving it a distress coat, but I'm not real worried about missing a spot here or there, if that makes any sense. Then I'm going to take that same tape once it dries, and I'm just going to move it up to the same line. I'm going to add this Waverly antique wax. Now, I want you to watch the magic in this Christmas bulb. Now, you see us use Waverly antique wax all the time, but I've never used it on a piece this substantial before, so you can't really see the wood grain pop out as much as you're going to when I wipe it off of this in just a moment. So if you're new and you haven't seen very many people use the antique wax, or you really don't get the gist behind it, I'm going to show you what it does. So once I paint on the antique wax to the top and the bottom, you do not want to let it dry. Okay, that's key. When I first started using this stuff a couple of years ago, I thought you had to let it dry for whatever dumb reason, but you don't let it dry. So literally right after you paint it on, I mean, you can wait 5 minutes or whatever, but you don't want it to completely dry, because you want it to do what I'm about to show you. You want to take a baby wipe or a wet rag. You do not want to take anything like a paper towel or toilet paper or anything that's going to come apart and get all in your wood. And look at this. Look how that wood just pops out like in your face. Beautiful, beautiful design in that wood. And now I'm going to take a wipe to the top of it, and it's going to bring out that wood in the top of this beautiful Christmas bulb. Now, I don't know how big this thing is, but when I tell you it's big, it is huge. It covers a huge part of my door, and I just love it. Now I'm going to remove my tape, and look at those gorgeous, crisp lines when that tape comes off. Look how beautiful that is. And look at the wood grain, y'all. Isn't that beautiful? So now I'm going to take my Merry Christmas sign. That right there looks good. If you were to leave that Merry Christmas natural, I think that looks good in itself. But I'm going to take this Moss Paint by Waverly because that is my color theme this year. And I am going to paint it with the moss. Again, like with the white, I am giving it a good coat, but I don't care if I miss a spot here or there because I'm not going to distress it down. But I don't care if I've missed a spot here and there to make it look a little bit more rustic. Now I'm taking these beads that you can get at the Dollar Tree right now. 2 of the natural ones I'm painting in that moss green. This ribbon right here, or twine, should I say, I want to say at Hobby Lobby for $2 with 40% off. It may have come from the Dollar General at 50% off. I don't know. I'm sorry. I can't tell you where I got it, but it's really pretty. And it's a little bit thicker than the normal twine that you get at the Dollar Tree. So anyway, I'm just putting a couple of beads on there, and I'm going to hang those beads from my bow. Now I'm taking my wood glue, hot glue sticks, and I am gluing down my Merry Christmas. And look how that moss just pops off of that white. I love it. Look what I did, y'all. I bought me a bow maker. I bought me a bow maker. Yeah, I'm being silly. But anyway, I suck at bows, y'all. And I still couldn't really figure it out with this bow maker, but it did help me keep it in place. It did help me hold it in place while I was trying to get it all together. So I guess it did do its job. It's just, you know, the person making the bows is the problem. I need a bow class. That's what I need. So I'm taking this ribbon. Now that burlap ribbon came from Dollar General. That real pretty square, you know, the ribbon with the squares in it came from Hobby Lobby. The other two came from Dollar Tree. So I'm just going to take all these ribbons, make the bow with the little bow maker, zip tie it off, and then once I get that done, I'm going to fishtail my ends. And you guys know how to fishtail, right? You just fold it over and cut from the inside downward. And if you want to see how to do that, let me know and I will slow this down. Actually, there's a button somewhere that somebody said, I don't know where it's at, but you can hit on your YouTube video and it'll slow it down. So anyway, I'm just going to hang those two little beads from my bow. I'm going to make me a little finger bow to finish off the middle, and I am going to glue that to my bow. And then to top it all off, I'm going to take a little, what is it called, a half bead, and I'm going to glue it right smack to the middle of my bow. And I don't know why I didn't show you that part, but look at how beautiful this thing turned out when it was done. I think it is just absolutely gorgeous. I lied about the half bead. That must be on another DIY that I'm doing in here. So y'all excuse me. I really thought I glued that half bead to that, but I guess I didn't. But either way, it still turned out beautiful, didn't it? I mean, look at that moss green just popping off that white. Look at the wood grain in that piece. My Lord have mercy. That antique wax did its job on this piece of wood. And that bow's not too shabby, if I say so myself. I like the way it turned out, and I hope you like it too. Now let's get into DIY number 2. I love the way this turned out. It's just a huge ornament. You can get these from the Dollar Tree all day long for $1.25. And believe it or not, they fit together like they were made to go together. So I'm going to take my antique wax, same thing that I just used. I am going to rub it all, or paint it all over this flat snowflake. And once I get it painted, I'm going to do just what we did on that other one. I'm going to take some baby wipes and I'm going to rub it right back off, and look at the gorgeous wood grain. Now I'm going to take my white Waverly chalk paint and I'm going to just give it a distressed coat of paint. I'm just going to kind of smear it on there, not really caring what I hit and what I miss. I just want it to have a really rustic feel to it. So once I get my white painted on there, I'm going to set that to the side and I'm going to let it dry, I think. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me see what I do next. Y'all know when we do this, we don't just talk while we're doing it. We go back and do a voiceover, and sometimes it's easy to forget what order we did it in. So now I'm going to take, there we go. Now I'm going to take my next sunflower. That's not a sunflower. That's the second time this year I have called it something besides a snowflake. So I'm going to take the moss green and I'm going to paint my snowflake with that gorgeous moss green. Once I get it all painted with the moss green, I'm going to let it dry just a little bit. It don't have to be completely dry for what I'm going to do next. But I want to say I took my heat gun and I helped it along, because y'all know I am so impatient. So once I got it done, I took this white, again, the white Waverly chalk paint, and I put it on the tip end of a brush, and I just sort of went all around the edges of the whole entire snowflake. And then right there in the middle where you see those sort of diamond-shaped spots, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to go in, I'm going to dry brush, and it just like brings that whole snowflake to life when you use this white or, you know, some other color that's just going to highlight it. Look at the difference in what it looked like before and what it's looking like now. And then when I finish off those little diamonds, I mean, can you tell? It just is like it just pops your eyes open and says, here I am, I'm a snowflake, look at me. So now I'm going to take and I am going to glue it down. Or no, I decided, that's right. I decided to use my antique wax, and I wanted to just darken up these edges a little bit. It was not quite as rustic as I wanted it to be, so I'm taking the antique wax and I'm just going to go around the edges. Now, I am not going to go back and wipe it off because I did want it a little bit darker. So I go around the edge and I do the same thing with this little snowflake. I take what's left over on my brush with that antique wax, and I just sort of dry brush all over it to give it a little bit more depth and dimension, and look how pretty that is together. Now I'm going to take my wood glue, hot glue sticks that I am obsessed with. They have such an amazing hold, and I'm going to line those holes up where you put the hole in it to hang, and it is absolutely perfect together. Well, I didn't want the back to look like that because I knew that people were going to be able to see the back. So all I did is just I took my antique wax and I gave it a really, really good coat. And then once I went over it with the antique wax, I took some I took some Waverly white chalk paint and gave it a distressed coat over the top of that antique wax. Just something to be there. I didn't really care how it turned out, honestly, because it was the back of it, and I knew not a lot of people would see it, but just in case anybody happened to turn it over, or God forbid it fell off the wherever I had it setting at or whatever, I just wanted it to have a little bit of a color to it and not just be that raw blank wood. So this is what I did right here, and that's all I did to the back. And then I went in and found, there's the half beads right there, and I thought it was pretty natural like that, but then I said, let me just paint one white and see what it looks like. And sure enough, I did like it much better painted white. Now, I did not give it a really good coat on those little half beads. I just gave it a distressed coat, so you're not going to see paint all over the whole half bead. And then I put one in the middle and one around each edge of that snowflake. And I love the way this thing looks when it's done. It is just, to me, it's gorgeous. Now, if I saw this in Kirkland's or in Hobby Lobby already made, I'm just going to take that same twine, make me a little hanger. I would have definitely give $10 or $15 for this piece, and I wouldn't have thought anything else about it. Look how pretty that turned out. Is this something that you like? Do you like this rustic look? If you do, let me know down in the comments if you like this. Now, I know distressing is not for everybody. Everybody don't like it. But for you left out there like me who still like that farmhousey kind of distressed look, I love it. I cannot wait to hear what you think about this and read it down in the comments below. So let me know what you think about my snowflake. Now, for DIY number 3, I got this idea the other day when I was doing my last video, when I said you can find you a real pretty Christmas bag at the Dollar Tree. Well, I got this sign from the Dollar Tree. I took the little hanger off, and I am obsessed with Cardinals. Both of my girls get me something Cardinal related every Christmas. I'm obsessed with them. There is a very dear story that my daddy told us when we were young, and he said, when there's troubled times in your life and things get crazy, God will send you a cardinal along, and that is his sign to let you know that he's there, he sees and he hears, and everything's going to be okay. And sure enough, my life growing up, every time I see a cardinal, it's usually when I'm going through some type of trial and tribulation in my life. And it's not just, I don't just see random cardinals when everything's good and I'm happy. Y'all might, but I don't. So now I'm going to take this Mod Podge, and I am just going to give it a really, really, really good coat on the back side of this picture so that I can Mod Podge my bag down where it don't go anywhere. Now, it is a heavy coat of Mod Podge, but it is an even coat of Mod Podge. It's not real thick in any place, and it's just a real good even coat. Now, I'm going to take my hands and I'm going to smooth it out. And believe it or not, as thick as that bag is, it didn't even try to wrinkle up on me, which I was tickled to death about because I loved this bag. I thought it was beautiful. And for me, and the sentiment behind it, I was just tickled to death to find this bag. Now, was not real crazy about the gold season's greetings in the middle, but you know what? It is what it is. It was part of the bag, and I didn't want to paint over it and mess the bag up. So I just went ahead. You see me kind of, making the edges, cutting the edges to where it's all up against the board. I'm going to take another layer of Mod Podge and cover the whole top. I'm going to go around my edges really good and make sure they're all sealed in. And then once that dries, I'm going to take my hand sander and I'm going to go around the edge of that picture right there, and I'm going to make sure I sand down the edges to where it's one smooth, clean edge, and it looks like it's made that way. It truly looks like this bag was on this picture whenever I bought it, and it's so pretty. So, of course, here I go blow drying again because I'm the most impatient crafter that you'll ever watch, and making sure that my bag is tied down. Is glued down really good. And then I'm taking that hand sander that you can get from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just giving it a really good sanding down. And it's like it melts it into that picture. I don't know how to explain what I'm trying to say, but if you've ever done this before, you know what I'm talking about. It just gives it the most professional finish, and it makes it look like you bought it that way. So once I get through, I noticed the top of the picture, and I thought, you know what? If I make my bow and it doesn't cover all of that up, you're going to see that brown under there. So I decided to go ahead and take some white paint, the white Waverly chalk paint, just give it a coat, not, anything real heavy, but just something to be under it in case my bow shows like it doesn't cover everything, and it shows. Well, while I had that white on my paintbrush, I just sort of went right around the edge and distressed it a little bit. Now, you can't even hardly see it right here, but you can see it on the picture, and it gives it just like this finish that makes it look like it all came together like that, and it's just beautiful to me, almost like a little snowy effect. So now I'm taking these really pretty ribbons that I got, again, from here, there, and everywhere. And look at that beautiful Cardinal ribbon that I got. That I got from Hobby Lobby. Everything, like I said a minute ago, at Hobby Lobby that is in their Christmas section is 60% off. So I didn't pay but just a couple dollars for that ribbon. Now, that candy cane stripe ribbon right there came from Dollar General. And then the holly ribbon came from the Dollar Tree. So that's where all of my ribbons came from. And now I'm going to take my, what is that thing called? My Lord, I hate it when I can't think. My zip tie, and zip tie it around it. Now I'm just going to go fishtail all the ends of my bow because I think that just makes it look so pretty and so finished and professional. And I'm going to get them all fishtailed up. And when I do, then I am going to take that cute little bow. I'm going to make me another finger bow like I did the first one. This must be where I added that little half bead at, y'all. And I'm going to make me a finger bow. If you don't know how to make a finger bow, you wrap it around your hand. I say, 10, 15 times. And then you do what I'm doing right there. You take a piece of ribbon or twine or whatever you're using, and you tie it right around the middle and put a knot in it. Now I'm using my same beads again, and I'm going to make me another little beaded hanger, 2 of them, for my sign. I'm just in love with these little beads hanging from these bows, y'all. I love it. I want to know down in the comments below, do you like them, or do you think the beads should be left for like a beaded garland or something? I just think it's a cute little addition, and I love it hanging from my bows. So that's what I'm doing. I'm making me 2 little beaded hangers. excuse me, with like 3 or 4 beads apiece. And I'm going to hang it from my bow. And once I do that and get my bow all glued onto my picture, I'm going to add a twine hanger to the back of it. And that's all there was to making this picture. And I am obsessed with it. I think it is absolutely beautiful. I love the Cardinal. I love the Cardinal ribbon that I got from the Hobby Lobby. And I just think it's so pretty. So let me know down in the comments below what you think about this picture. I did forget this little, what is this stuff called? Beaded? No, berry. I don't know. Y'all know what it is. It's those little berry twine things that you can I hate it when I can't think of a proper word, y'all. I'm so sorry. But anyway, you get those little things right there from the Dollar Tree. I want to say it's just a little berry garland is what it's called. And I twisted it around a pencil and just made it cute. And then I added my bow. I put my bow all together and I glued it to my picture. And then I hung my twine hanger on it. And that's the one that I went back and I put that little half bead in the middle. I knew I put one somewhere. And I think it's cute. And it probably wouldn't hurt for me to go back and do that to the beginning. I mean, to the bow on my first one that I did in the beginning of the video. But see, look at them beads. Don't they just make that whole bow, y'all? Look at those gorgeous cardinals. I love the way this turned out. And another thing that too is when you add that Mod Podge on the top of your bag, if it's the satin Mod Podge, it brings down the shine, that glossy shine that's on those bags. And that glossy shine is not there anymore. It's sort of a matte look. Now that little Cardinal that you saw right there, it comes in a pack of 2 at the Dollar Tree. I just pulled one off and stuck it in the front of that picture to show you. But look at how pretty. Yeah, see, that would look really cute with the little half bead right there in the middle. But I love this huge Christmas bulb, y'all. Look at that wood. Don't it look like it's been stained with a regular stain? I just love it. And to me, using the antique wax is so much easier than a stain. A lot of people say, well, no, it's not, because you put the stain on, then you don't have to wipe it off or anything. But in my opinion, it's easier. Now, that's a real pretty green bow right there, or ribbon that I got from the Dollar Tree. I've never seen that green ribbon before, and I happened to see it the other night and grabbed it. Look at that berry garland. Isn't that just the cutest little addition to that bow? I think the bow's the prettiest thing on there, the bow and the little cardinal. Look at that cute little cardinal, y'all. Look at that pitiful cardinal that came from the Dollar Tree. Those things are so pitiful, but I bought it anyway. But tell me, which one of these 3 is your favorite? Is it the bulb? Is it that beautiful snowflake right there? Or is it that cardinal picture? Now, you can use that as a wall hanging. You can hang it on your door. You could put it on a little stand that you can get from the Dollar Tree and stand it upward. There's so many things you can do with that cardinal sign. Same with this snowflake here. You can hang it on your tree, or you can just stand it up on something, or you can hang it on your door. There's so many things you can do. But look at how big that bulb is, y'all. Isn't that thing huge? And I love it. I love the way this whole video turned out. I hope you love it. I am so excited that you're here with me chatting right now. If you're chatting with me in the live, this is my favorite part of a whole video, is when we watch this premiere and we sit here and we chit chat with each other. If you're not part of the chit chat, join us on my premieres and talk to us on the live. There's a little button there that says live chat. Click on it and you'll see the whole conversation. Jump in, tell us your name and where you're from, and we will welcome you into our little chat group. But anyway, I've ran my mouth enough. I just want to say, as always, thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. Be blessed. Bye now. See you next Tuesday.